This video will teach you many things as far as is about skin detailing, so make sure you watch and learn. So this is the picture I want to draw, and as you can see, those lines and wrinkles in the skin shows very well. So I want to achieve it in my own drawing. So what's the first thing I do? The first thing I do here is to create my layers. Layers means creating light lines at the first stage of your drawing, like getting a guideline, making a smooth shading that is very light at the first stage of the drawing. So you use hatching, cross hatching, only hatching to achieve this, but I use hatching and cross hatching when I'm drawing. As you can see, I'm crossing the lines that I've already created. This is super light and super smooth. I'm not sure you will see very well, but I added those lines just to give a base of what I want to draw first. So after creating the layers, what you do is hatching and cross hatching, maybe the same direction or different direction, but you're making it thicker so that it can bring out the skin color very well. So I do my hatching and cross hatching at this stage. These are stages. This is not the main detailing, but these are the stages I went through before I started detailing this drawing. The side I'm shading is a little bit thicker from the other places I created those layers. Now you see that I've gotten the skin color, so let's start to do the detailing. What I'm doing here is scribbling. I'm first doing scribbling for a light scribbling for the part that I've already shaded. The second time I shaded those parts, that's where I do the scribbling. So the scribbling I'm doing is a shred scribbling that will give me a guide on how the skin texture looks in the picture. So you do this kind of scribbling for this kind of drawing. So after you have done this kind of scribbling, now you will get those lines and curves that you want. Then use your pen and bring out the lines one after the other. The details you see in every drawing have been added one after the other. None of them is magic, all of them is being added one after the other. So I first use the scribbling to do the direction of the skin texture. Then you use your pen, the one that is not blunt. Don't use a blunt pen, use your pen, then bring out those pores directly. Now look at how the scribbling looks. This is what I'm doing. This is how the scribbling looks. It depends on the drawing that you are making. So for this drawing, I'm using that kind of scribbling. Is slant and it looks like a shred, but it's not straight. You do the scribbling to bring out those details, pores and wrinkles in the drawing. So it depends on the picture that you are drawing. That's why I always say, if you always watch my videos, I always say that you should make sure that you study the picture very well before you proceed to shading. The technique you use in the other drawings might not be the same technique you use in this drawing. So that's what pro artists do, and you always find it difficult to understand. The technique I might use in this drawing might not be the technique I will use in my next drawing. So the detailing styles might be different. So make sure you understand the picture very well before you start shading. Follow those scribbling one after the other, and then you bring out the lines and pores that are in the drawing. During this detailing process, make sure that the pen you are using for the detailing is not blunt. If the pen is blunt, the whole drawing will be messed up. You'll be creating some thick ink in the places that are not supposed to have thick inks. So make sure that the the detailing that you are doing, the pen you use for the detailing is the one that is not blunt. That's probably a new one. I'm using big pen for this drawing, big pen for this drawing. So I bought a new one just for this detailing. So the detailing shouldn't be used. The detailing should be done with a blunt pen. Take note of that. It's very, very important. And the way you look at it, it now looks like it's impossible to make. You can make such drawings. They are easy if you understand everything that I've been saying. So make sure you watch everything to understand every last piece of it. That's most important places you should never miss. So the detailings, you will make sure that you watch the picture and know the part of the detailing that it has a more thicker line and the part that is more faint. So all these things are all in the category of studying the picture, and in a particular place or a particular flat you are drawing, make sure that you look at that place very well. When you are drawing, look at the picture very well, then you follow it one after the other. So these details you see here are being added one after the other. There is no sort of magic. I've seen someone say that my art are just magic, like they are not real. I edited this stuff. It doesn't matter if you think of anything about the art, but what matters is the art really real. If the art is real, then that's a very good credit to you. So make sure you get those artworks look very real. Add those lines. Is fun to make. Detailing is one of the best parts I love in a drawing. In all my drawings, the detailing part, I love it so much because that is what separates you from other artists. That's what makes you look very unique from other artists. So learn this detailing, is really simple to make. So for this other part, I'll be also doing the hatching and cross hatching stuff, getting the base first, the layers first, then before I proceed to the detailing. So watch as I do it. Watch closely. If you watch closely, you notice that I'm first creating the dark parts so that I will understand how I will blend when I start shading. So I roughly create a place that needs to be dark so that when I start shading normally, that I will not make mistake. This is another thing you need to learn how to do. You use a different direction of lines to mark out a place that is darker than the other parts of the drawing. Then you shade it normal, then blend into the other parts when you start shading the whole part of the drawing. For me, I make sure I blend very well. I get everything perfectly before I start my detailing. This is because when I start detailing, I will not like to shade on top of the details that I've already created. I don't like doing that stuff. I like to shade everything, get the original color, the original thickness of the picture in the drawing that I'm making. Then I start detailing. The detailing will be the final part of the drawing. Don't make the mistake of when you start the drawing you detail it first then shade on it, that's bullshit. You just make mistake on all parts of the drawing. So you first create the light, the shadings, make it look realistic first before you make it look hyper realistic or afro realistic, that's bringing out the details. So for this detailing, for this part of the skin, what I'm using is scribbling, and the scribbling I'm doing is the circle scribbling. It's not the straight line on this one. I'm making it circle, turning my pen, rotating it at one point with a pen, like rotating the pen in a circular form, not making it a line now. So this is what I did. The scribbling, I was just rotating my pen till you get this outcome in the drawing. So this is very simple if you understand your drawings, if you understand your picture very well, and you understand how everything is being done. So you detail too with pen, the lines and all those stuffs. This is where I mostly enjoyed you. So those lines that you see in the drawing, in the picture, you bring it out also one after the other. Make sure you are not using a blunt pen to do this before you spoil the whole drawing. So you bring out those lines one after the other till you get satisfied that this is how I love it, that this is how I want it to look. Stop feeling that there is something impossible about getting details in the drawing, because I've seen many comments in my post that this is unbelievable, that I wish I can do it. You can really do this simple trick. It's very simple if you ask me. Just follow these steps, then you get hyper realistic. Study the picture you are drawing, then follow the details one after the other. It's simple as that. So getting realism in your drawing or skin details needs a amount of time of your time. You don't need to rush it. Although I did